Hi guys, and welcome back to Gothic Magic. I am going to address some of the questions that I received. I have notes because I needed notes because otherwise I would ramble the entire time. So I wanted to start by saying welcome, not to the channel, not because you're watching my video. I'm trying to turn this music down, guys, hang on. But welcome. You have decided that you want to awaken your inner witch. That is cause to celebrate. This calls for celebration. This calls for you to just, give yourself a pat on the back and congratulate yourself for deciding to, begin your journey, because it's an awesome journey. It can be scary at times, confusing at times, frustrating at times, but 99% of the time, it is an absolute joy. The only time it's not is when you're doing shadow work, which will be a separate video, but this is going to be about all the wonderful things on how to get started and how to just decide, what do you have to do next? What are you going to do next? Which, the one thing I want you to remember, if you don't take anything else from this video, is there is no wrong way, okay? There is no wrong way. Whatever feels right to you, sorry guys, whatever feels right to you, whatever resonates with you is going to be what works for you. It's different for everybody. Everybody has different everything when it comes to their craft. It's just different. You take one thing that somebody says, or one spell, or one list of ingredients for this or that, and then you can adjust that, substitute, make it your own. So don't ever feel like you have to be exactly like somebody is telling you, because that's just false information, and that will make you go crazy, because you don't always have every single thing that you're going to need, based on somebody else's spell. So just remember that. Use your intuition, let that be your guide, and if you do that, you're going to find it so much easier. So after you've celebrated, I want you to start journaling. Okay? You can get a little Dollar Tree journal. You can go all out, and you can start a nice book of shadows. They have some beautiful ones out there, leather bound, or get vegan leather bound, just beautiful, beautiful. Or you can, mine has a cat on it because I'm a cat person. My newest one does. I've gone through several, but, you want to keep them though. You never want to get rid of them, and they're for your eyes only, unless you have, someone maybe you practice with, or maybe someone in your coven. But I'm solitary, so I will be speaking about how to continue your path as a solitary witch. I probably should have said that at the beginning, but it will be solitary. Okay? So, what do you journal? What do you journal? Well, one thing that I found very helpful was to kind of journal the my feelings and things based on the moon cycles. Maybe you just want to journal at full moons and dark moons. Start with that. Maybe start with just journaling the days you're having intense feelings, or days you're, having questions about witchcraft or about your path. And look it up and write it down. So many things that I wished I had written down. I wish I'd written those things down, because back when I was just beginning, I was so strong. I didn't need a spell. I didn't need ingredients. I didn't need any of that. I would think it hard enough, and it would happen. Sometimes I wouldn't even realize I was thinking it, and stuff would happen, and I would be like, you know what? Oh my God. I mean, and I wished I had written down how I was able to focus like that, because I find it a lot harder to focus, which with age, they say we lose that connection, to the spiritual realm more and more and more and more and more the older we get, and that kids are the closest to it, and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, you know, just write everything down. Write it down. It's, even if it seems insignificant, write it down. Any rituals that you do, no matter how small, write them down. Journal your feelings. Journal your feelings. So if you want to, you can do a separate little journal and then a formal BOS, or you can do them together. However you want to start, it is up to you. It is up to you. Because what you're going to find is that the first ones that you do, your first book of shadows and your first journal, or if you do them together, are going to be the ones that you go back to and you refer to the most often. Because you learn so much in that first year. People will say a year and a day, whatever. You know, it just depends what path you take. But you learn so much. You learn so much. So next, I would suggest to begin seeking your path. What path, you know, what are you leaning towards? Are you, you know, are you going to be, are you interested in the zodiac? Is that what got you here? Divination, is that what got you here? Herbs, are you a green witch? Is it just the magic? Do you just feel pagan? Is it mythology that got you here? What are your interests? Are you a sea witch? Are you an eclectic witch? Are you traditional folk witch? Are you a Wiccan? Is that the path you want to choose? Are you a neo-Wiccan, which is like the new term for the eclectic witch? Are you a kitchen witch? Ceremonial witch? Are you hereditary? Which, if you're hereditary, you probably won't need this video as much because you probably have your mother or grandmother or whoever before you as an excellent teacher. What are you? Are you into hoodoo, Santeria? I mean, there's so much that you can be into. And you take that and you run with it. Take that small interest and you run with it. Maybe it's a combo of things, and that's fine. Like, you know, you can do all these things, and that can be your path. You know, I mean, when I'm at the beach, I'm a sea witch. Because, you know, if I lived by the beach, that's what I would be. I would be Wiccan still, which some of the things I've been doing lately are teeter-tottering on the Wiccan read, and I have to learn to forgive and forget, but it's really hard right now for me, and you'll find that, especially if you choose the Wiccan path, because you cannot hurt anyone. Most forms of witchcraft suggest that you do not use your magic for bad, but sometimes it's necessary. Anyway, some questions I would suggest that you look up. Just type into Google and read 3 or 4 articles about it. Don't just go with the first one and then be like, oh, okay, cool. But I would look up, what is witchcraft? If you're a new beginner, look it up. See what some people have to say about it. Make sure it's for you. Make sure it's for you. If you're wanting to become a witch so you can become a millionaire and win the lottery in a week, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. So that you're going down the wrong path. Also look up what is magic. And you probably want to spell it with a K. Alright? If you're wanting to do Harry Potter stuff, not the right path for you. It's just not, you know, it's not. It can be, you will amaze yourself with the things you're going to be able to do eventually, but you're never going to be able to, you know, do things like that. That's fiction. That's fiction. We can't fly on brooms, and we can't, you know, do all the stuff you see in Harry Potter and, you know, have fires shoot out of our wands and all this stuff, which you may be able to activate a double flame one day in a candle, but, you know, it's not going to be like that, unfortunately, because that'd be pretty freaking cool. Okay, next, you're going to want to get some books. I'm going to share with you, because I don't want to spend forever on books, but you're going to want to get some books, and then read some blogs. Choose which ones resonate with you, but I'm going to show you one that you have to have. This is a must, and I think it's on eBay for like $12. This is Witchery by Juliet Diaz. This book is awesome. It will bring you to tears at times, but it is wonderful. Get this book. Promise me, if you are beginning on any path as a witch, that you will get this book, Witchery by Juliet Diaz. She is amazing. She is, ooh, it even matches my new tablecloth. She is amazing, okay? It's amazing. Another book, especially if you are considering going down the Wiccan path, is this one. Buckland. Buckland's complete book of witchcraft. It has everything in here. It's even got patterns on how to make ritual robes. I mean, but like I said, take things that you learn in books with a grain of salt and adapt it to what suits you. But the thing about this book is that she mentions that a lot. She mentions that a lot. And this is a lot more new age than Buckland's. Buckland's, I think, was printed in the 70s. You know, it's 25 years. 25 years, but I think that this book was printed before that. Okay? But it's like a course. It's like a course for Wicca. And it's even got little exercises in it that you can do, which, of course, I never wrote any of them down, but it's awesome. It's a cool book. It teaches you, you know, it shows you what you need to get. These are the two that I recommend. There's also one called Moon Spells. That's pretty cool. Another one is the Encyclopedia of 5,000 Spells. That one is also good. But I would start small with these two. This one right here, I love this book. I've read it probably 10 times. I love this book. Also, I suggest getting yourself a little witch's planner. This is one that I have this year. You know, they always have different ones that you can choose from, but I like this one. Whenever you see something with Lisa Chamberlain's name on it, you know it's going to be good. It's got some cool spells integrated with it. It's got all your moon cycles, your astrological stuff, everything in there. Everything is in here. And I did a video just on this book, with this planner. So I'm going to sit these here so it's least boring to look at now on my little table. And I wish I could show you guys my face. You don't know how bad I want to just connect with you eye to eye. Maybe one day. Maybe one day on Twitter. We can do a group, just a group thing. All right. Let's see. The blogs that I like, there are two. There are more that are out there. But Learn Religions, I actually wrote down 3. LearnReligions.com is great. It's LearnReligions.com. And I'll put links to all 3 of these in the description for you. Also, I love Spells 8. Her voice is so soothing on her YouTube videos, and she has like a complete course on being a Wiccan. It's great. It's free too. And then PaganGrimoire.com. So those are the three blogs and websites that I suggest you go to. I think they're pretty awesome. So next, what you're gonna do, and remember, when you read stuff, guys, take it with a grain of salt. Now, when this book is teaching you how to you know, set up a circle and what anathema is for, that's kind of different than adapting a spell to suit you. You want to, some things you know are just the way they are, you know, but when it comes to practicing magic, I hope that makes sense. When it comes to practicing magic, you can tailor it. All right. Next, learn the basics, which is kind of what I was just talking about, the basics. How do you set up your altar? How do you enter and exit a circle? How do you set up a circle? What do you have to do? There are various ways. You don't always have to do it the one way. There are even, you know, you can even, when you get strong enough, visualize. Cleanse the area and visualize a circle and do it that way. It's like I said, it's what resonates with you. Okay, learn about the elements. You need to know which is associated with what direction. You need to know, you know, what you can use to represent each one. And you need to know why. Why do you need this in your magic? Why is it important? Okay, rituals. Learn the basics on how to perform rituals. Learn your, if you're, you know, especially if you're going down the Wiccan path, learn your Sabbats and your Esbats. Those are important. Learn your moon cycles. Always keep up with the moon. Keep up with the moon. Tools. Now, I could spend 30 minutes showing you every single tool that I have, but I'm not going to do that. I'm doing a series. I've done one in the series called Witchy Tools, where I talked about my athame and what they're for and stuff. And I'll continue to do that. Next is going to be my cauldron. I've got to clean it out because it's full of Hecate's new moon incense residue stuff. I need to clean it out. But anyway, start gathering your tools. And, you know, you don't have to get all of them at once. I would suggest start out with either your athame or wand. You can choose one or the other. You don't have to have both. It is nice to have both eventually, though, especially if you can do your own handmade wand. That's cool. If you can make your own knife, your own athame, that would be even cooler. But few of us have those skills. And then I would suggest getting a fire-safe cauldron or a fire-safe bowl, something where you can burn incense in. Herbs, just if you need to burn herbs, paper, you know, we burn lots of stuff as witches, so you need that fire safe dish. Start stocking up on a few candles, and I'm gonna start off with white candles. Get you a few white candles, get you a box of matches. Y'all see me use a lighter a lot of times, but when I'm doing my rituals, normally I will use matches. I just use the lighter a lot of times when I'm just doing on film because it's faster. But matches are more friendly for the environment, is mainly why. Not because they're more magical. Fire is fire in that right candle. Okay, I know I'm crazy, y'all. The next one, I put a big star beside it. Learn to use and trust your intuition. Okay, that's really important. You need to do that. You need to do that. You need to learn to do those things with your intuition. Just learn and trust it. If it feels right, it's right. If it feels wrong, it's probably wrong. Okay? All right. Study throughout your journey. Study throughout. Never stop studying. I still study. Like I said, I've read this book 10 times. I read a chapter in it the other night on doing the cone of power because I wanted to just see what she had said about it again, because I was getting some energy raised up to do a spell, and I was like, what did she say about it? And what it says in here about the cone of power is a lot different than what it says in here. So like I say, you know, it's different interpretations. But guys, get this book. Please get this book. Okay. Research the different gods and goddesses you want to worship. You know, you got the Lord and the Lady, but then you can also choose deities to work with. Like I work with Hecate. Okay, I've worked with Brigid. You know, I still do try to work with Brigid as much as possible, but I feel right now that it's Hecate's time, and I don't want to take away from that. Not because I'm scared, but because I'm a little antsy about, you know, kind of sharing that with I don't want to bring anyone else in while I'm journeying with her right now with my seasons. I don't want to do that just yet, but you know, every now and then I will call on someone else, especially if it's a completely different type of magic, you know, because you want to know who is best for what. So see who's best suited for your personality, you know, and you can have multiple deities. Okay, let's see. Start gathering a few herbs and crystals that resonate with you. I will put a link in the description below the blogs of a website that gives you every single herb and the magical meanings for it, and every single crystal and all of the magical meanings for it. And the crystal one leaves out a couple, but you'll get the nitty gritty. And then if you have a specific one that's not there, just Google it, type in magical properties of blank, and it'll pop up. But I'll put those there for you. But start gathering those. I would suggest get some selenite, clear quartz, some black tourmaline if you have anxiety. It's also good for protection. I would suggest starting with those three crystals, and then for your herbs, you're going to want to start with protection spells, protection workings. That's going to be where you want to start. So you want to get some rue, angelica root, basil, bay leaf, bergamot, rosemary. You know, that could be your first little trip to your local metaphysical shop, or your first, you know, visit to 13moons.com. That's where I go. You know, you can go wherever you want, but that's just what popped into my head. Load up your cart with those things. Get those herbs. A lot of those you can find at the grocery store, but you can't find rue or angelica root or bergamot there. Bergamot. You can't find those things there, but you can find, you know, basil, bay leaves, rosemary. You can find those things. So a lot of things you can find at the grocery store. And they're so universal, especially basil. I put basil in freaking everything. I put it in just about everything I cook. And I put it in every spell and every oil. It's just, it just amps up everything. Okay, let's see. I just wrote again to continue writing things down in your book of shadows or your journal. Don't forget, keep writing things down. Now, once you've done all that and you feel that you're ready, you can you can start setting up your altar. Okay? It can be as simple as a box full of your tools that you have a blank table like this, and you take your tools out, set them up when you're working, and when you finish, take it down, put it back in the box, and put the box under your bed if you have to. If you're in the broom closet, or you're living with other people, or your parents. And if you're super young, if you're under 16, please wait till you at least turn 16 to decide what path you want to take, you know, religiously, because you still have a lot to learn. And it might, you know, don't just start it because you saw it on Instagram and you think it's cool. Okay, there's a lot that's involved with this. That's one of the reasons I said to start doing protection magic early, is because you open yourself up to a world of different energies, and not all of them are good. Okay, you want to make sure that this is the path for you, not just because, oh, I saw The Craft 2, which, by the way, sucked. Sorry if you liked it, but it sucked compared to the first one. It was absolutely terrible. But, you know, just, I saw this in this movie and there was glitter in the bathtub and all this stuff. That's fiction, guys. It's fiction. This is a path. It's going to take you years to be strong enough to cast a successful money spell, you know, to make a really successful one, unless you're just a natural witch or you know, you really dedicate yourself. It's not like what you see in the movies, okay? It's just not. So anyway, more about the altar. You can do like I do. I have one for Hecate. It's hers alone. And then I have another little one where Brigid still sits, and I have some other things. And then I also have a travel altar that goes with me throughout the house. If I'm going to be downstairs doing a spell because my daughter is asleep upstairs, I take my little travel altar in my box downstairs, and it's actually down there right now. That's where my athame is, why I can't show it to you. Of course, it's, you know, closed. It's a knife that closes. I had to make sure, you know, to get one like that because I didn't want anyone to accidentally get hurt. But anyway, let's see. You can change it for the seasons. I'm getting ready to do, finish my Ostara setup. I'm actually going to do my dining room table as my Ostara altar this year. We just dyed eggs, and it's going to be beautiful. So I'm turning my dining room table into an altar. You can even do things like that. I mean, so that'll be like the 4th altar I have around my house right now. But just do what feels right. What feels right. Okay, if it feels right to you, then you're doing it the right way. And that was my last piece of advice. I know I said that a lot throughout the video, but it's true. It's true. If it feels right, you're doing it the right way. If it feels wrong, you're doing it, you might not be doing it the right way. There might be some things you need to tweak. But that's it. My path started out, it was so natural to me that I didn't really have to do a lot. Now to maintain it, I've had to, you know, work harder at it to maintain that. But I do feel that I've intensified, I've gotten more powerful, but it's just that I use my power for different things now. I don't use it as much, you know, for a lot. I won't lie, a lot of times back then I would use it for harm. Somebody would piss me off and I would focus hard enough and something bad would happen, and I don't do that anymore. I don't. I mean, I've done a couple of things recently that are questionable, but nothing like that. Not you know, to harm someone for just because they pissed me off a little bit in math class, you know, or whatever class. But anyway, guys, that's all I have on beginners. witchy tips for beginners. If you have any other questions about that subject, just DM me directly on Twitter. If you want, you know, some sort of mentor to bounce ideas off of, I'm happy to be that person for you. Just let me know. I've already had 2 young ladies that have asked me if they can do that, and that's perfectly fine. I'll get back to you every couple days at the most. At the most, I will not leave you hanging. So just feel free to do that. And it's Gothic_magic with the K spelled correctly. But that's all I have, guys. And blessed be.